There were things that were done in that hospital when he was there that they missed,
Yep.
that they very well could have actually kept him alive for longer.
Yep.
He was in there actually as a result of a brain bleed from a cochlear implant. I'm like, all of these things, we hold people, I think, so often to a level of accountability that they're unable to attain.
Hmm.
At the same time, there's the other side of that pendulum where we go, no
Right.
accountability. They're as messed up as I am. They're never too lost to be found, so I can't hold them accountable, right?
Right.
And that's really that balance. How would you actually define? Because I want to get to some of the questions that we talked about earlier, just to make sure that people understand a little bit more how to deal with these things. How would you define some or identify maybe some red flags of unhealthy environments?
So one of the first thing that comes to mind when you say that is this subtle silencing that happens.
Mm,
Being told, not to talk about something or that everything is gossip.
yeah.
Everything is, in fact, not gossip. So I see that silencing happening. I also see sometimes the flip of that where people are encouraged to go to their leader within the church. I kind of put that in quotes because I'm working through something with God about that right now.
Yeah.
Um, but they're encouraged to go to their leader and sort of spill all of their stuff, right? From their past, maybe into their present. There's this sort of sense that the leader is your spiritual authority. And
Mm,
I see that as a red flag. So those are kind of two opposite, ends of that spectrum with the silencing and then the encouraging, kind of this oversharing. I also see this emotional manipulation that takes place. So some
yeah.
of that even happens during worship on a Sunday morning, where the environment is set just so. I see you laughing at me. And I
No,
think
not
I would,
laughing at you, just laughing. Just it's such an important topic,
yeah,
right? That you're talking about. There is a manipulation that can. I'm not saying it
can.
always does. It
Mhm.
can happen even in a worship service,
Yes,
right?
because people can have an emotional response to something, but it's very real. But then it's very easy for us to confuse that with a move of the Holy Spirit. And often I hear from the church platform, they say the Spirit's really moving in this space. Well, if you are a new Christian or not a Christian, or you don't have really a lot of context for what it feels like when the Holy Spirit's doing a thing in your life, and then you're told this is what a move of the Holy Spirit feels like. Now, what you've just done is, and I think that a lot of times this is happening by accident. I do not think that the worship
Absolutely.
leader or the pastor is doing this maliciously, but you have a congregation now who might be misunderstanding their emotions for what God is doing or how he's moving in their life.